everyone, it's Lindsay, and I'm back again with another entry using the July Faith Art Box from Creative Retreat. And today I'm working in Matthew chapter 26. And so I'm going to be doing some ink smushing today. And this is just a way that I like to quickly add some color to the background. So I've gone ahead and picked out spun sugar and abandoned coral just because they really match the colors in this kit. Now, distress inks do bleed through your Bible pages if they're unprepped. I don't care about that. It doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you, you can prep your page ahead of time or use something like watercolors or Neocolor 2s, something like that to do this technique. But I just like that I can pick colors that match perfectly with these kits and I don't have to mix anything. So I'm going ahead and laying down 2 layers of spun sugar, and I'll do the same thing for abandoned coral. Now, I like to dry in between my layers. That way they lay on top of each other and don't mix too much. And that spun sugar is a very pale pink, but it's just going to add some more dimension to this background. So I'm just smushing it on some packaging, adding some water, and then smushing it onto the page. Super, super simple. These colors didn't bleed through horribly, so it'll be easy to cover up on the other side. And I'm just kind of concentrating it in the top right hand corner, but I just love that it adds some texture to the page, some color, and it's super, super simple. So one of my favorite techniques for a background, but like I said, it does bleed through, so just be aware of that. I'm going to go ahead and add in this last layer of the abandoned coral. Now, in my previous video, I used the same color and I did some heat embossing with some Ranger Platinum embossing powder, and I loved it. So I'm going to go ahead and do something similar in the entry today. So I'm going to prepare my page using the EK Success powder tool. And this is just going to take any static off the page, any fingerprints, and allow the powder to only stick to my stamping. And so I'm going to pull out the stamp set from this month's kit. If you haven't gotten this kit already, be sure to head down into the description bar down below. There will be a link over to the Creative Retreat store where you can sign up and subscribe to the monthly kits. These are fantastic. They are super, super fun, so be sure to go check that out. So go ahead and pull out your will. And I'm just kind of dirtying it up on my arm first. And then I'm going to stamp with some clear ink. This is Versamark ink. It's a clear sticky ink. And I'm just kind of feeling the top of my page. My Bible is getting very, very chunky at the top. It's getting harder and harder to stamp up there. So I'm going to have to start putting something a little more hard behind that page before I start stamping. But I'm able to get a halfway decent impression. I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some of the platinum embossing powder onto that stamping. And I've had some questions about a heat tool, whether it's necessary. It's not necessary to have a heat tool to dry your page, but to do heat embossing, you cannot emboss with a hairdryer. It does not get hot enough to melt the embossing powder. So you do need a heat tool like this Ranger heat tool, or by another brand embossing tool, to heat up the embossing powder and melt it. So I'm just going to heat that up, and you can see it turns shiny once it is melted. And I just love the color of that platinum embossing powder. So now I'm going to go ahead and add some stickers. I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to watch me apply stickers from the kit. But so I'm working in Matthew chapter 26. Verse 42 is where Jesus is praying in the Garden of Gethsemane right before his crucifixion. And I've been going through just some difficult situations lately, nothing like what Jesus faced facing crucifixion, but there's just times that we go through that are hard and we wonder, why are we going through this? Why does God have this happening to us? But I think it's important for us to remember that we are not the main character of our stories. God is the main character in our stories, and whatever trial you might be going through, it may be to better you or to change you, but it also might be for somebody else, and to use those trials to point somebody else to how great God is. And so I just need to remember that when I'm facing something difficult, it's not necessarily about me always. It might just be so that others can see just how amazing and powerful God is especially in the way that you handle yourself during those trials. So lots of prayer. It's not easy. I don't have it all right all the time either, but I like to just kind of refocus and remember why I'm going through things sometimes. Just going to finish this up with some of those super cute enamel dots. Those are the subscriber exclusive this month, just to tie in some more of that yellow around the page. Super simple page today, nothing complicated. Top it off with the little bow clip, underline the verse, and that is it. So be sure to check out the Creative Retreat shop to get subscribed to these kits, and also check out the blog to see how the other ladies are working through the kit this month. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.